Welcome to the LynnSanity, a podcast for the Running Hook Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to an edition of the LynnSanity podcast, a part of the Running Hook Podcast Network. And boy, oh boy, do we got a pod for you today, folks. We got a pod for you. The NBA playoffs are back and they are ready to rumble, baby. And we have the 2 pod a week LynnSanities every Monday night. We are starting off with the lovely Circle City Cinema host who has put together some fabulous Fast and Furious series. The man who is doing drafts like nobody's business on his podcast, Zach Griffith. Zach, it is a privilege to get this underway, and I'm excited to see what you're going to bring today.
Listen, there wasn't a single bad game, guys. There wasn't single bad game.
This is glorious. Truly.
I mean, the worst game was probably Nets Celtics, and even that was competitive most of the time. Until
Wasn't bad.
Right. So, oh my God, I got some takes tonight. I'm gonna rip some people. I can't wait. I told you guys before the pod, I don't like overreacting after game ones, but some of this stuff, because I think it can be fluky sometimes after game one. Like,
totally fair.
Like last year when Portland beat the Lakers, everyone's like, oh, look at this. It's going 6. No, stop. I don't think some of this stuff this year, I don't think was fluky. And I think it's going to be a big problem for the teams that lost.
Well, I already like the sound of that. And before you get too far into it, please make sure to go on to your platform that you're listening to this on and look to rate, review, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment, please, you can just basically say Caleb is lovely and he looks attractive on the gallery view.
He's a bum.
And, that works for me.
Bum.
But anyhow, there's plenty to look at, and please comment, please review, please give us 5 stars because you know that's what we do best. But anyhow, Bryce Shadday, the co-host of the LynnSanity, it's going to be a great time, Bryce. The playoffs are great. And the series that we drafted are great. I feel like our draft was A+. I feel like we kicked butt. Didn't we not here?
I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the series that we get to cover. If you want to hear coverage on the other series, go listen to Power Hour with Alex Burr and Dylan Hughes to get the other side of the coverage. But Caleb, I'm here tonight. I'm very excited. I haven't been amped for not that I hate doing podcasts with y'all, but I haven't been amped for a podcast in a couple weeks like this. I'm very excited. I'm about to dominate some players. Like I locked up Zach Griffith on his own court this weekend.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yes. It was easy. It was cake.
That did not happen.
It happened, folks.
No,
video proof evidence Will Hogsett has on his phone.
Didn't happen.
It will be released of me dominating, me and Caleb, the co-host connection, dominating Zach Griffith on his own home court. Okay. But anyways, Caleb, without further ado, please get us into it.
Well, and what we'll do first is we'll just run through the scores, just plain and simple, of every series, and then we'll remind everybody the series that we do have. So just to start off, the playoffs started May 22nd, right? Bucks won 109-107 over Miami. This podcast will be diving into that series pretty hard. Mavericks and the Clippers. The Mavericks won 113-103, thanks to an unbelievable performance by Luka Doncic, and the Dallas Mavericks, who are looking very good. And if you want to hear more about that in that series, please tune in to the Alex Burr and Dylan Hughes Power Hour. Celtics and Nets were also on. The Nets won 104-93 over Boston. We will be covering that series on this podcast. The Blazers and the Nuggets, we will also be covering that series on this podcast. The Blazers won 123-109. For Sunday's games, Alex will have you covered with the Sixers. Absolute. They just showed their dominance inside, 125-118. We will cover the Lakers and the Suns. The Suns won 99-90 over the Lakers. Hawks and Knicks. Alex and Dylan will have you covered for that. The Hawks won 107-105 thanks to Trae Young's unbelievable game-winning floater, and not because of Gallinari. And the Grizzlies and the Jazz. The Grizzlies won 112-109 over the Utah Jazz. And Alex Burr and Dylan Hughes will have you covered with that. So without further ado, We'll run you through real quick. Lakers, Suns, Heat, Bucks, Nuggets, Blazers, Nets, Celtics will be covered on the LynnSanity. We will be diving into those. We'll be talking a little bit about the other series, but that's not going to be our huge focus. Our focus is going to be down to these 4 series, and then we'll talk about it with Alex. We'll talk about it with Dylan on the Power Hour. We'll bring them on to have them talk about stuff. It'll be fun to follow. But meanwhile, let's go right into it, baby. Let's go right into it. The Lakers and the Suns are the first series that we're going to talk about today. And the Phoenix Suns in the Valley, baby, with a loud crowd. Holy crap, loud crowd. The Suns won. They beat the Lakers. Bryce, I'll start with you on this. The Lakers tried to throw the kitchen sink at Booker. They threw everything, right? They threw everything. It's like a packed sink in the kitchen. Right, they threw everything. It's like, okay, let's just throw it all together. We gotta. That's how it's gonna get there. It's all gonna get there. But that didn't stop Devin Booker. Right, they didn't stop him. But I know there's one particular piece that Zach and Bryce both have in mind when discussing this series, and I'll let you take it away, Bryce.
Well, and I mean, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna defer a little bit. I'm gonna take my turn first, but I'm gonna defer because Zach Griffith feels way stronger about this at this point.
One point. Yeah, 1 point.
I am with you, okay, 100%.
Sure,
and Zach is going to lay the smack down on this in rock style fashion.
It's over for this guy. It's over.
All right.
My takeaway from this game, and I texted you guys about this earlier when I rewatched some highlights on this game.
100%.
The Lakers look discombobulated and lost sometimes on offense, almost like they don't have an identity. Phoenix look much more organized, and maybe that's the impact of Chris Paul, and in some ways it probably is Chris Paul. But they know where the ball should go. The ball should go to Devin Booker, and we talked about this the day of the game, right? The stigma that Devin Booker is not a big-time player in big games is completely false. Completely false. 34 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds, triple-double watch, if you will.
Where did that even come from?
I have no idea. Maybe because he's young. I've told you guys my opinion on the bubble games. I could see that. But, I mean, he played a full 45 minutes. 13 of 26 from the field, 50%, 3 of 7 from 3, which is kind of unusual for Devin Booker, but an absolutely phenomenal game from Devin Booker. It's exactly what you want out of your best player. Well, arguably your best player now that Chris Paul is there. Chris Paul is not going to wow you on the stat line, but he's going to do what's necessary. And the Lakers just look lost. Just completely lost. And some of the decisions that Frank Vogel made as far as rotations go, I don't understand. Wes Matthews, only 12 minutes? Come on. This is why you signed Wes Matthews, to play him in these games. So you put him in there for 12 minutes. You have Alex Caruso that has 24 minutes. I don't understand. Montrezl Harrell, who is dominating somewhat in the second quarter, only plays 15 minutes.
Well, Bryce, they don't know who their guys are. They have Phoenix knows who their guys are, who they can count on.
I agree.
LA has no idea.
I don't understand. You don't play Ben McLemore. Okay, fine. You don't play Morris.
Can I just real quick, Bryce, real quick?
Sure.
The big reason for McLemore not playing was due to a car accident, recent car accident.
Gotcha.
So I don't know how much that affects the play, but I just want to make that clear.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, even Kuzma, only 19 minutes. I don't know that you want to play KCP 35 minutes, which, by the way, he was 2 of 9. What happened to that playoff KCP that everybody wants to talk about?
Caleb?
Enough. Oh, yeah. Caleb needs to eat it on KCP. This is an inexcusable performance. 1 of 7 from the 3-point line. Just 2 of 9 overall.
Abysmal defense. Abysmal.
Kuzma, 0 of 2, 0 points. Wes Matthews, 1 of 4, 2 points. Horton Tucker, who they just had to have instead of Kyle Lowry, 7 minutes.
He shouldn't be playing.
1 of 4.
He shouldn't be playing at all. He shouldn't get a single minute.
It's embarrassing. And for somebody like Frank Vogel, who I respect mightily because of what he did in Indiana, this is just frankly just downright disgusting. Figure it out. You guys are the defending champs. abysmal performance. They're lucky they only lost by 9. All props to the Suns here. They all showed up. Booker, Chris Paul. I think Torrey Craig should be playing more. I think they might be saving him a little bit. That's just my opinion. Little ace in the hole, if you will. Multi-tool guy. Throw him on LeBron. Get him some threes. Get him going a little bit. But great game from Phoenix. Phenomenal. I love it.
Well, and Zach, I know when you're diving in on the Phoenix side, you have one person in particular.
Oh, yes, I do. DeAndre Ayton. Alex Burr. Eat it. Eat it all up. Alex is on the fence about DeAndre Ayton and what he can do in the playoffs. Alex, you're my friend. You're a good guy. Eat it on this. Eat it all up. DeAndre Ayton dominated Anthony Davis. Absolutely dominated him.
A Disney.
I'm sorry. My bad. I got the name wrong. 37 minutes for Ayton. 21 points. Only missed one shot from the field. He went 10 for 11. 16 rebounds, 8 of which were on the offensive end.
Yeah, baby. We love to see offensive glass.
Here's the stat. Here is the stat. Plus 16 for DeAndre Ayton. The Suns
Highest
were plus 16.
Highest on the team.
Yes. And here's Anthony Davis' stat line. 39 minutes, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks. Does that stat line remind you of anybody, Bryce?
Roy Hibbert.
Somebody on the Pacers right now?
Oh, right now. Oh, a little Miles Turner?
Little Miles Turner.
No.
And look, no disrespect to Miles Turner. He's been great this year. But Anthony Davis, you're going to tout yourself as a top 5 guy, and you're going to put up a Miles Turner stat line? You're going to put up a Miles Turner stat line.
Turner's been better than that. Turner's been better than that this season. Come on.
But that's your typical
tell
Turner
him plus
stat
minus.
line.
Tell him the plus minus on A Disney.
I had it and it's gone. Well, it was like minus 17 or
It's
something.
minus 18.
Yeah,
minus
it's
18.
horrible. It's fucking horrible. And Anthony Davis, don't tout yourself as a top 5 guy when you get absolutely worked by a third-year center in his playoff debut. You get worked. I mean, all of us here like DeAndre Ayton, I think.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. He's changed my mind. He changed my mind.
Oh, yeah. Zach, that a question with me? Come on now.
Yeah, I know. There's no reason DeAndre Ayton should be working Anthony Davis. There's no reason. And Bryce, I got Paul George vibes from Anthony Davis.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Just like,
hey, I'm good with it.
Especially when he was on the Pacers. Because Paul George, statistically, was a great playoff player for us.
Yeah.
And overall, he was. But it's the games he didn't show up that fucked us. Game 7 against Miami. Game 4 against Cleveland in 2017. Game 7 against Toronto. This isn't the first time Anthony Davis has no-showed a playoff game. It happened a couple times last year. I think it gets swept under the rug because they won the title, but still. You mentioned it, Caleb. The double teams on Booker were just useless. It wasted time. He either made the right pass or he just scored. There was a play in the first quarter, speaking of KCP. Booker posted him up. Had a nice little Kevin McHale-esque post move.
Wow, Kevin McHale.
He turned around, did a pump fake. KCP fell for it, little step in and lay it in. He stepped up big when
KCP.
It's adorable. He stepped up big when CP3 went down. Booker's final stats: 45 minutes, 34 points on 50% from the field, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. But he can't step up in a big game, guys. Mikal Bridges, really good defense on LeBron.
I like that. Yeah,
really
I like
good
that.
defense.
He didn't shoot the ball very well. He only shot 33% from the field, but he did everything that he needed to do. Even with him shooting 33%, plus 9 in this game.
Plus 9. And here's what I think the Lakers are going to do. Just because Drummond, Davis, and Harrell all got absolutely owned by Ayton. They're going to trot out Marc Gasol in game 2. Marc Gasol is going to get some minutes in game 2.
I agree. I agree.
He's also going to get worked.
They should.
He's also going to get worked. Their center rotation, I mean, Davis won't play the center, which is just cute. I've always thought Davis was soft, and he just proved it yesterday. Drummond and Harrell are just, I mean, against a guy like Aiden.
My gosh.
Aiden can stretch him out or he can just body him to the basket. It doesn't matter. Harrell might get below 15 minutes the rest of the series. There's just no chemistry on the Lakers. There's none. LeBron's going to have a vintage LeBron performance. The rest of the series, not just game 2, the rest of the series. Because if AD is going to no-show like this every other game, what choice do you have if you're the Lakers? Because you don't have the third guy. You haven't had it the past 2 years. So just come on. They have no answer for Ayton. The Suns' wing depth is one of the tallest tasks LeBron has ever had to face from a matchup standpoint. I mean, they're so deep at wing. It's not even funny. So unless vintage LeBron comes out, give me the Suns in 6.
Oh, wow.
They have no answer for DeAndre Ayton. They have no answer.
That was a flame. Wow. I mean, here's the other thing. Here's the excuses that I hate.
I mean, all they can hope for is refs, Bryce. That's all they can hope for.
Well, they're definitely going to get the refs help. They're definitely going to get the refs help.
Refs are abysmal in this game as well.
Oh, absolutely awful. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, and the other thing is people are making excuses for Anthony Davis. I shared that tweet with you guys earlier today. This Tom, well, I don't even know, Haberstroh.
Tom Haberstroh.
Yes, very well respected. This was not a good showing for Mr. Tom here.
Laughable.
You defend Anthony Davis by saying he's not shooting the 3 well and something's not right because he's not shooting the 3 well. Anthony Davis is a 7-foot power forward. He is not somebody that should be shooting 3s so many a game. And that's how you judge Anthony Davis on how well he shoots the 3. This is embarrassing. And this is why I hate LeBron James, because he takes the game's best power forwards. He turns them into soft power forwards that only shoot 3s. Anthony Davis has one of the best post games and best mid-range jumpers we've seen in the league from a guy his size, and he refuses to use it because LeBron wants to stretch the floor. It's embarrassing. It's ridiculous. Anthony Davis needs to quit being soft, get inside, get your little fadeaway jumper going, get your post game going. Again, all respect to DeAndre Ayton. He is still a third-year center.
First playoff series for DeAndre Ayton.
It's embarrassing.
First playoff series for pretty much this whole team other than Crowder and CP3. Like, here's a question for you guys. If you're Frank Vogel, is LeBron James on one ankle your best answer for Devin Booker in a one-on-one matchup? Because I think it is.
Probably. Again, I think Wes Matthews should be playing more. I really do. I believe that. Because Caruso's cute, okay? They need to stop with this.
He got torched. He got absolutely.
Caruso ended the game with 4 fouls. 4 fouls. It's stupid, man.
Hit me with the plus minus. Hit me with the plus minus.
Actually, Caruso was +1.
Oh, wow.
He was one of the few guys that was actually plus. There were 4 guys on the plus side. No one higher than +2.
Wow.
And Horton Tucker was one of them, and he only played 7 minutes.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and doubt LeBron because he makes us shove it every year, but this is his tallest task in the first round since he played us, Bryce. The Vic team.
Yeah.
And the Suns are better than we were. They're a hell of a lot better than we were. Suns are a hell of a lot better than that Pacers team was, so I don't know. Something major is going to have to change for the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, they're in trouble.
Well, here's my issue with this team, right? The defense is going to be there. I mean, that's always been a staple card for Frank Vogel teams. Okay, that's not. I'm not concerned necessarily about them being able to limit the Suns. The offense is a concern. It felt like a struggle to get to 90 points. It felt as if it was like, you were going on a 5K and you're just barely getting to the finish line, but you get there. The Lakers barely are getting to the finish line when they are getting 90 points right now. Their offense has to be able to deliver more. And it's not just LeBron. Drummond was absolutely awful in this game. He was awful in this game. And you did not pick him up to give you what he gave you in this game. You did not want him only playing 19 minutes. Folks, that was not the plan.
No.
Okay. Here's the other thing I know. Here's the other thing. Dennis Schroeder, who I think had a decent game, but I think at the same time, it's like, dude, you four turnovers. I'm not liking the turnovers. You're a point guard, right? I don't want LeBron to have to take on even more of a load. Okay. I want Schroeder being able to handle the ball. I want Schroeder being the floor general for this team. That's what I want, right? 4 turnovers isn't cutting it. 3 assists isn't cutting it. Okay, it's not cutting it. And if you're going to put Caruso as the primary defender on Devin Booker, then you're in for a long evening, Frank Vogel. I don't like questioning his defense. I really don't. But this is ridiculous. You have got to be able to throw a better defensive game plan together. And the only reason the defensive game plan even slightly could have worked, and this is just my opinion, is the only reason it could have slightly worked is because Chris Paul was on a bad shoulder. Because because basically what they were doing was they were putting their coverage into a point where they said, we're not going to let anybody else shoot. Rather, we're going to make Chris Paul shoot. We're going to make him shoot. Well, breaking news, you're probably going to get a better Chris Paul in game 2. Okay. Are we really going to buy Chris Paul only getting 7 assists or sorry, 7 points, 8 assists and 4 rebounds?
No.
Heavens no.
He was still plus 6 on the floor, by the way.
He was still plus 6. Well, right. He was still making an impact, Bryce.
Plus 6
but I'm betting on a better stat line. I'm betting on a better stat line when
absolutely.
It matters. The Phoenix Suns, I don't even think, Bryce, played their A game. I don't even think they played their A game. I think they beat the Lakers on a B or a B- type of game. Okay. That's my opinion. Okay, they hardly played Torrey Craig. I think they'll look to use him. I agree. But, here's some other things I really like about this game, you guys. I get it. I've been huge on DeAndre Ayton, 20 and 16. He's he is the factor to this playoffs. He is the factor to the Phoenix Suns making a legitimate run and hoisting the NBA championship. He is the factor.
Cash in on my bet, baby. Let's go.
He is the factor. 37 minutes. Oh, but he's not going to stay out of foul trouble in this game. It's his first game, but he's not.
Alex. He did, Alex.
He gave it. He did exactly that in this game. Okay, I'm not trying to sit there and overreact, but I'm saying what this man gives you shows that he is capable of delivering in the big moments. Okay, it's time to start sitting there with DeAndre Ayton and realizing that this isn't just a cute center anymore. This is a legitimate top 10, top 8 center in the game.
Yeah. Super mobile. He runs the floor extremely well.
He's a specimen, guys. He stands out on an NBA court. If you're just like Joe Schmo watching the game, you'd be like, you see DeAndre Ayton, you're like, wow, I bet
he's
that guy's
everywhere.
good. Yeah.
Listen to this. Per Basketball Index, I read this on an article at The Athletic today. Ayton is the first in matchup difficulty metric. Players he guards are high impact, high usage offensive players that other bigs don't take on. They don't take on. You know who's not number 1? Rudy Gobert. In addition, Ayton and Rudy Gobert. Ayton's screening is terrific. It's something that he's always been very good at.
Yeah.
Playoffs, we're already seeing it. I'm telling you, this is an opportunity for a big time Ayton performance. And by the way, the money is coming for this man. Clearly, he's looking at the extensions and he's saying to himself, I want the bag. But you know what? Another guy that I think got underappreciated in this game, though, I'm just going to be honest. I think Jay Crowder got underappreciated in this game. Sure. Jay Crowder's intangibles and leadership was shown in that game. Phoenix, there were so many times where it felt like they were going to blow it, right? Campaign obviously got ejected, but he was, all over the place. It might have been the best. Honestly, it might have been good for him. I think the way they were playing so out of control, you had guys like Crowder just telling him, hey, like take a chill pill, right? We're good enough to beat the Lakers. We're good enough to beat the Lakers. And he believes it. That's why he signed here. He has multiple NBA Finals experiences. He has had long playoff runs.
Well, yeah, and
that is a piece. That's the key.
The crazy thing about that. So he had 8 points total, right?
Yes.
He was 3 of 10 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3. And guess what? He was plus 14. Yeah. Plus 14.
And he was still like a top 5 player in the game.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, he was. Yes, he was. Zach. Yes, he was.
I mean, at the beginning, when James Jones took over as the GM, we were thinking, what are you doing? He was just gifting LeBron Tyson Chandler. He was just trading this, that, giving this away. Gave away TJ Warren for cash considerations. We roasted him for that.
Yeah.
Boy, he got the last laugh, didn't he?
Well, he looks awfully good. He looks awfully good because he's not, Sarge stepped up. I didn't hate
Sarge. You need
minutes.
it. Yeah, give Sarge some respect, Caleb.
I didn't hate the Sarge minutes. I didn't hate him.
Big time block.
He didn't kill him.
He didn't kill him.
Actually, he was -7, but
but Bryce, it was he didn't back down. Right, there were a lot of times where they were trying to post him up, and it didn't felt like
he's been in playoff games,
not trying. Sarge was working, and I can respect that. And I can respect that a lot. Okay, I think this is a team that obviously they're going to look to get the tone going in game 2. Chris Paul has obviously made it clear that he's coming back, and that's, to me, that's a big thing for them. But let's move on to the Lakers. Let's discuss the Lakers a slight bit here. The Lakers in this game shot 7 for 26 from the 3-point line and 17 of 28 from the free throw line. By the way, this is a funny stat from David McMenamin today. The Lakers shot 19 free throws before the Suns even shot their first one.
Yeah, see, and that's embarrassing. And they deserve for that.
When you are not, you have got to be able to convert. You have to convert well. You have to convert.
That goes to Bryce's point. The Lakers are lucky they lost by 9 with all those free throws. Yeah. The free throw disparity, especially in the first half, was terrible. And you still
it was bad.
Only got to 90 points.
Right. Sure. No, and it was they need to be able to pick it up. There's no question about it. And I don't know who that is, to be honest. I liked KCP last year, but even then, if I said, okay, this year, who is it? I don't know. I mean, Schroeder's just too inconsistent for me this year. He's too inconsistent for me. I'm not buying consistent production. You never know who's going to come up for them. And as you guys both have mentioned, you do know what that looks like for the Suns. You do know what that looks like for the Suns. And I think for the Lakers, obviously, getting game 2 is going to be big, and they need to even the series. I don't like, if the Suns go 2-0, that's a young team with confidence.
Tough.
With a elite coach in Monty Williams, that's a lot to try to make up. I'm not saying LeBron hasn't done anything like that before. He clearly has. I'm just saying, when it comes to this series, you don't want to be in positions where you're down 2-0, right? Sorry, no one wants to, but they have to be better. I was completely shocked that the Suns got game 1. I was shocked they got it. I was shocked they got it in the way they got it.
Convincingly.
Really, the score is almost deceiving. The 9-point lead at the end is almost deceiving. I think the Suns played better than the score, and it'll be fun to see. I also thought Cam Johnson, for basically a rookie kind of in the playoffs, put together some nice minutes, had some really nice stops as well. So I think the Suns are going to be a very tough threat. I'm very excited to dive into this series more as we get going. Next up, I'm thinking let's go to the Eastern Conference. Heat and Bucks, where Chris Middleton sinks in a buzzer-beating shot over the Miami Heat. The Bucks are going 1-0. Zach, you've talked about the fact that you really believe in Miami. I'm curious. What are you thinking about this series? Because I think a lot of people thought, okay, what are they going to do at the end? What are the Bucks going to do at the end? Middleton answered that in game 1. He had a fantastic performance. They were able to come up big. Obviously, I don't think Giannis had a horrible performance, to be honest. I thought in general, there's a couple things that I looked out for, particularly from the Bucks. Okay, Budenholzer is wanting to play his starters. Right. There are years where the Bucks were saying, we're only going to play Giannis for 30 minutes. Well, he just played his single game high in game 1 under Budenholzer with 45.
Right.
Okay. You're obviously seeing adjustments with how he's using the starters. Okay. But I guess, but for Miami, Zach, you were high on Miami. Okay. But let's just face the facts. Jimmy Butler can't shoot 4 of 22.
Right.
Okay, and Bam can't be so passive. Bam can't be so passive. When he's on the block against Lopez, he can't pass it as much as he does. This season, when he's in the post, he's passing it 54% of the time. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You got to be able to go at it. You got to be able to go at him. Okay. And Jimmy Butler's been saying, Jimmy Butler came up, he said, look, I was 4 of 22, but I'm going to get the three going. He said that. He said that after the game in game 1. Zach, what do you think of the Heat? Because I know you like them in the series.
I do still like him in the series. We're choosing to ignore what's going on right now in game 2, but so I'm just gonna act like that's not happening. But Jimmy and Bam really disappointed me in this game because he has the matchup. I understand Lopez is a good team defender and all that, but like, miss me on Lopez, please. Just miss me on him completely. I understand he had a good game this time, but like, here's 2 things you can't count on if you're these teams. The Bucks, you can't count on Lopez going for 18. You can't do that. And you can't count on, if you're the Heat, you can't count on Duncan Robinson going for 24. You can't.
I agree with that.
You can't count on that. And also, Bryce, to your point on the one-trick pony, all of his shots are from 3. All of them.
Oh, that's interesting.
Every single one. So he needs to eat shit on that. But Jimmy and Bam, 8 for 37 combined.
Oh,
yeah.
And they
disgusting.
still almost won. They still almost won because of Alex Burr's Goran Dragic, 25 points, 5 for 10 from behind the arc, and solid defense on Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Both those guys finished with over 20, but it was a hard 20. Dragic didn't make it easy on him. They weren't getting to the hoop at will when he was guarding him. So,
nope.
The question is, how good are you? Again, we're ignoring game 2 right now. How good are you feeling if you're the Bucks? Because Miami's 2 best guys sucked. I know Jimmy hit the shot to force overtime, but they sucked, at least from a shooting standpoint.
Sure.
But you win on a last-second shot in overtime to beat this team. And their top 2 guys sucked. I mean, I don't know how good you're feeling about that. I want to go in on this bullshit free throw timing call. I want to go in on this.
Oh, wow. You have a problem.
I do have a problem because you're not going to call this shit all season, and then you're going to call it late in a playoff game that could have cost the Bucks the game. All because Caron Butler's waving his arms around the sideline like you're about to back into his car. He's just like, you gotta call it. You gotta call it. 10 seconds. Shut up. You're gonna call it because a dude on the Miami sideline is waving his arms around, telling you to call it. The refs can shove it up their ass on that call. That was a bullshit call. I understand the rule. I think it's a good rule.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you haven't called. The thing is, you haven't called it all season, and now you're gonna call it in game 1 of the playoffs, late in the game, where it could determine the outcome. Yeah. What are you doing?
Right. Yep.
Also, one last thing. Drew Holiday over Eric Bledsoe is such a fucking improvement. It's
my goodness.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it
almost had a triple-double.
I mean, he's getting breakaways in this game. Never saw that once with Eric Bledsoe on the Bucks. I don't think we've seen it since he left Phoenix, honestly. Elite defense on Butler at times. Elite.
Yeah. Yeah.
And his playmaking is just something Bledsoe didn't give you, so... Such an improvement. I'm actually going to change my pick.
Whoa!
I am going to change my pick, and I'm ignoring game 2 because I really thought that was a must-win for the Bucks, considering what happened last season. This is the team that mollywopped you in 5 games. And if you lose this game 1 at home in front of fans for once...
Sure.
You're not feeling good going into game 2. So
no, you're not.
I don't know. These teams know each other. I think the Bucks are better than last year, mostly because of Holiday. I know I said at the top I don't overreact after game 1s, but I just think Holiday over Bledsoe is such a difference. It's such a difference. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. And I know they gave up a lot for Holiday, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
Oh, this is music to my ears, Zach Griffith. This is music to my ears because, and I quote, I'm not sleeping on Miami anymore, not after last season.
I'm still not sleeping on them.
To which I said, I will prepare my pillow and my mattress and I will sleep with the Miami
No.
Heat
No,
underneath my mattress.
You misquote me, Bryce. I'm
I
not
will
sleeping
sleep
on
hard.
Miami. I'm just changing my pick. They could still win the series.
This is great. This is glorious right here, Zach Griffith. This is just awesome. The Bucks are going to win this series. Okay, they're not going to let now. I think we have also forgotten that Bucks team was decimated with injuries as well. I mean, you lose Giannis, who wasn't even 100% healthy coming into the series. He goes down with a sprained ankle. The series is over.
Right.
It took Middleton to have the playoff game of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To win a game.
Yep.
And not to mention, I mean, Middleton again didn't shoot phenomenally in game 1, but he played well.
Wasn't
I gotta give it to him
last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I gotta give it to Chris Middleton because I gave him a lot of crap last season for not showing up in the playoffs. He showed up in the one game, okay, to prove it to everybody, right? All right, and I got to step up. But I appreciate this performance that he put forth in game 1. He came out firing.
About time.
Now we know what's happening in game 2 right now. We're choosing to ignore it. I actually don't know what Middleton is doing in this game. I truly don't. I've just seen scores. That's all I've seen. If Middleton can keep this up, the Bucks will contend for the finals. 100%. I think it hinges on Chris Middleton, though. I think he is the X factor because you know what you're going to get from Giannis. You're going to get 25 and 13 from him every game. Holiday, he's going to show up. Holiday had a good game. He didn't shoot it well from the 3. I think that'll change. Holiday's going to bring it. It all hinges on Chris Middleton for me. And then as far as Miami goes, I mean, I guess I don't know. It just left you wanting more. Okay, big swing and a miss on Ariza. Massive swing and a miss.
He's done. He's washed.
He is.
Do you think Miami wanted to play him that much?
Yes.
I mean, my God.
Yes.
I'm saying overall. You think they said we have? You think beginning of the year they're thinking to themselves, man, we're gonna have to pick up a guy like Trevor Ariza
when they signed him,
much minutes.
Yes, 100%. They thought this was going to be the guy that'll come in and give him.
He's washed.
For me, I think Ariza and Iguodala are the same at this point in their careers. I think Iguodala is on a collision course with retirement as well, in my personal opinion. Iguodala is not as impactful as he was in Golden State, and Miami needs to get off of that. They need to get off of it immediately. Him and Ariza, they're just not what they were, guys. They're just not. And Pat Riley should know better. He should know better. And Adebayo, Bam, yeah, you expect a lot more from a guy who, again, highly touts himself, right? We talked about All-Star and things like that. I expect better. Okay, you get what you get with Kendrick Nunn, right? Jimmy Butler, all around good stat line, but sometimes you don't. Charles Barkley said it perfectly tonight before Game 2 started. I don't need Jimmy the playmaker. I need Jimmy the scorer. I need Jimmy the scorer right now, and I totally agree. 4 for 29 is miserable, just absolutely miserable, and I don't know. Miami
4 for 22. 4 for 22, Bryce. 4 for 22.
For 22?
Right? 4 for 22.
Yeah, 4 for 22.
Not good.
Abysmal.
Not good.
Yeah.
How are you not going to play Achua? How are you just not going to play that guy? You need.
Yeah, I think he's got serious potential. He's got serious potential.
I've been trying to lead.
Instead, you play Dwayne Dedmon. You play Dwayne Dedmon.
Right, another guy who's on his way to Wash City. Like you need some size on the front line, especially. We didn't even talk about Bobby Portis. He only scored 8 points, but he was really important for the Bucks.
Yeah, he was,
and he killed them on the boards.
Portis has had a good season. I think he's found a little niche there.
Yeah,
I think he's good.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, with Milwaukee, DiVincenzo was miserable. He played a lot of minutes. He was miserable.
He got a ton of rebounds.
PJ Tucker needs to be playing more. PJ Tucker.
I agree.
He didn't score it all, but he was +8 on off the bench. I get it. You're kind of in a jam because you have Middleton and Giannis out there, but hear me out for a second. What if you went with this lineup? You go with Holiday at the point guard. You go Middleton at the 2. I'll go Giannis at the 3, Tucker at the 4, and Lopez at the 5. You're telling me that Miami's going to easily walk through that lineup? No chance. No chance. There's no chance.
You know what I like better, Bryce?
What?
Holiday, Middleton, Tucker, Portis, Giannis.
Yeah.
I think you guys hate on Lopez too much, and I think that's unwarranted sometimes.
No, I just don't like all the threes he takes. I don't think he's really that good at taking threes. I don't care what the percentages say.
He's +6.
He's a better post player. He's a better post player. Just put your back to the
fine, but I still think you need a little rim protection there. I think Lopez gives it to you.
He does give it to you, and I said he's a good team defender.
I don't want Giannis on Adebayo. I don't think I really want that. I think Lopez can cause problems for Adebayo.
Well, he did in game 1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'd rather have Lopez, a big body where he can't just sun somebody,
Right.
I don't know. That's just me.
Well, real quick, just because we referenced it so much, we'll just try to give some clarity. So we're recording this about mid like about the end of the second quarter. Bucks are pretty much trouncing the Heat 71-45. They're doing it through a lot of different ways.
Oh my
Middleton's
Lord.
got about double digits himself. I mean, Bryn Forbes been lighting it up from 3. They're up big. So Milwaukee is up big. That just kind of clarifies a little bit of what we were talking about and mentioning for game 2. I think the big thing for me in this series is Budenholzer. And so far he's had some things that I've been head scratching, but here's one thing I won't ever head scratch. You ready for this? Listen to this. Okay. In game 1, I found this through The Athletic again, check their coverage out because it's fantastic. In game 1, Budenholzer found a way to at least have 2 of Giannis, Drew, and Middleton for every second of the game.
That's smart.
That is not something we would have said. That's not something we would have said last year. That's not something we would have said 2 years ago.
Because he pulled his guys. He pulled his guys last season.
Right. And, I think that's a fact. That's a factor to me. That's a fact because you're going to have to do this. If you're the Bucks, you're going to have to at least have two of these guys on the floor. And, Budenholzer's clearly doing that. He's playing his starters. He's playing them a lot. He's playing them more than he has in the past. I'm curious to see how they take it. Clearly, so far, it looks good early on. But how does it happen maybe later if they move on? That's something to watch. But to me, that's an unbelievable thing about this series. In general, the way that I look at this is just – another thing I feel like I got to bash. I got to bash Tyler Hero like nobody's business.
Oh, I agree.
You want to talk about some lousiness, some lousy play. Okay, here's my tendency. Here's the thing that made me mad. In my opinion, even though I understand Chris Middleton wanted a game-winning bucket, what swung the game to me was there was a tendency third quarter. Tyler Hero misses three shots, doesn't get back on defense twice after the shots in the third quarter.
Yeah, I remember
he looked unmotivated. He tried to do everything himself, was trying to create everything for himself. He's not that type of player.
Well, he thinks he is. He got that swag in the bubble, and he's riding high off of it, and it's embarrassing. This might be one of the most overrated guys we've seen in a while, one of those one-hit wonders. And frankly, embarrassing. Could you imagine not giving up Tyler Hero for James Harden? Could you imagine that?
He needs to look in the mirror because he's getting outplayed in minutes by a washed Trevor Ariza and a washed Andre Iguodala. Last year, he was essential in them getting to the finals. And in game 1, at least, he's a total no-show.
Yeah, giving us mean mugs, giving us all that good stuff. We'll go yuck it up with what's his name? Rapper Jack Harlow. Yeah, Jack Harlow. Give me a cereal too. Yeah. Okay, where you at? Where you at, clown?
Caleb, if he gets back on 2 of those 3 possessions, maybe they win the game.
Pivotal
game.
But
pivotal.
2 of 10.
Awful.
The consistency to not get back It was that bad hero game, really bad hero game. I also think personally, you're going to have to figure out a way. I think Precious is a good point. I've been trying to defend that. I don't know if they just see the veteran presence of Dedmon as something more important to them. I'm not totally sure. But clearly, Ariza is not Crowder. Ariza is not Crowder, and they're desperate for Crowder.
I haven't seen a good Ariza season since he's been in Houston.
And there you go. That might do it. And I think that's going to be a problem for them, and they're going to have to figure it out because they got to look themselves in the mirror after this first half and the way they've played. Not to mention the fact that it felt like there were opportunities that just slipped that they weren't able to make happen.
I don't know how you're going to sit there and play Dedmon over Precious because
they're doing it just for better. I think they're just doing it because they trust the vet more than the.
Has Dedmon even been in the playoffs though?
Dedmon's slow with the Spurs.
I think they feel like he's more reliable than Precious. I'm not saying I would agree with it. I'm just saying I think that's what they do.
All right. But Dedmon, he's just slow. He's not a good defender.
I get it. Trust me, I get it. I'm just telling you, I think they're trying to get off. They're trying to give a vet because they feel like that's what they have to do.
Like Portis ate him up.
I know it did. The other thing, we do want to introduce a new segment. And without further ado, Bryce, Shadday, we've done 2 series. So just real quick, hit me with the Lakers Suns one, and then let's do Bucks Heat.
For my Lakers Suns. Overreaction time. Zach Griffith loves overreactions. He loves my overreactions. Here's my overreaction for the Lakers Suns. Here we go. Yeah, this is why we're doing this. Marc Gasol is more playable than any other big man on the Lakers other than Anthony Davis.
I agree with that.
Oh, we got an agreement from Zach Griffith. I love it.
Going up, Montrezl Harrell oh my God, he got washed off the floor last playoffs, and the Lakers like, give me this guy. What happened? Game 1 gets washed.
Yeah.
Gets washed. I understand he had a positive plus minus and like some rebounds, but he only played like 15 minutes. Get him off. Drummond was horrible. He was awful. Get him off.
I love it.
There were points Drummond was out there. I'm like, why did they sign him?
Hey, but Boston could have had him.
Boston was so close. They were so close. It's like,
yeah.
Why are you going to sign this guy just to stay afloat and try and stay out of the play-in, which failed. That didn't happen.
Failed.
And we've seen him in the playoffs a couple times, and he sucked.
Yeah, he has.
What are you honestly getting from Andre Drummond?
A super team.
That's fair.
Jesus.
I'll say for me, I will not call this an overreaction. They need Gasol. They need him bad. It would not shock me if we see him in game 2, because I just think he'll give you a little more, not only defensively, but I think he just gives you more playmaking. I think he gives you a unique. I understand they missed that lob presence at the 5, but I think Gasol cancels some of those things out, and I think that's worth it for the Lakers. Bryce, give me your next one.
I had one for this Bucks Heat series.
Sure.
But not taking into account game 2. Well, you kind of have to now. I'm going to go with a very hot take, a very much needed overreaction. The Bucks will sweep the Miami Heat.
I won't go there.
Book it.
I won't go there.
Book it.
I won't go there.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
No.
Wow.
Oh yeah. No. It's happening.
Wow.
4-0'd.
No.
4-0'd.
Holy
They can't produce. Miami can't produce on offense. They don't have a go-to scorer. They just don't. They flat out don't.
No, stop. Okay.
They don't have a scorer.
They have a go-to.
They
he
have
just
a go-to
sucked in game
scorer.
1 is all.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Oh my gosh.
Bryce, I understand the tide has turned on this series, but your disrespect of the Miami Heat is it's
they've made such bad moves. Let's think about this.
You're sitting there and acting like this team has done nothing when they won 2 NBA Finals games last year.
Congratulations.
They swept us, Bryce. They fucking killed us.
Yeah, and we deserved it. But you signed Trevor Ariza thinking he's the answer. You have Andre Iguodala, who's washed.
Bad move.
You hold on to Tyler Hero instead of getting James Harden. You trade for a broken Victor Oladipo. Think about the moves they've made for a team that just made the finals last season.
Sure.
They didn't make the right moves. They whiffed on all of them. All of them. They deserve to get swept. If you want to know, my first question was going to be, or my first overreaction was going to be Middleton's the most clutch player in this series. Discuss that if you will.
I mean, that's not the first time he's hit a game-tying or winning shot in the playoffs, right? He did it in Boston in 2018.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So
are you saying most clutch in this series? Most clutch player in this series?
No.
That's my overreaction.
No, Jimmy Butler is. And statistically, I think that's the case. They showed a stat on ESPN basically saying that was the case. I forget what it was, but he has like the most. I don't remember if it's playoffs or regular season, but he has the most game-winning tying baskets in the past like 30 years, like best percentage. So I think statistically it's Jimmy Butler, so I'm going to go with him.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair. I think I will go with I don't know about a sweep. But
Get my broom out.
Very tricky to see the Heat pushing this to even it's probably, I don't know if this is a 7-game series. That'd be really hard.
Nope.
I 6-5.
Miami.
And I think that's really hard. And I think the Bucks look really good. I think they've got everything to be the case. I don't think your reaction is an overreaction to saying that Middleton could be that dude in the clutch. I don't think it's crazy. I think Jimmy is in that. I also think Jrue Holiday can be in that. Because you may not get the unbelievable clutch, like game winner, but I can guarantee you that Jrue Holiday in the clutch can defend. That I can guarantee.
Yes.
That I can guarantee.
I'll say this, Bryce. I'll say this.
Yes.
From the Bucks, I'd rather have the ball in Middleton's hands at the end of the game than Giannis. I'll say that.
Oh, I'm with that. I'm not going to argue.
But I don't think that's a shot at Giannis. I just think that's just putting your players in the best positions. And Middleton with the shot up.
Needs to get there, though. He needs to get there if he's going to be your MVP.
I would argue he could. I would argue he might be able to do it.
But I'm not taking shots at Giannis. It's just that
I'm not.
If they start doing, hack-a-shack, I want the ball in Middleton's hands.
Sure, that makes sense to me. So we'll move forward with the third series on the docket, Nuggets Blazers, which look, Portland came out. They had a great game. I don't even think it was bad. I don't even think it was a bad game. It was just like one of those games where, Portland had control, right? They made sure that to not slip up on it, and it worked. They played well. They executed well, and I can't criticize that. That's they came out. They played smart. They were aggressive. Carmelo Anthony was aggressive. It just felt like everything was set for a really big game, and for Portland, and it was. The offensive explosion was there, right? Lillard with 34, McCollum with 21, Melo with 18, and the unexpected performance from Simons. Sweet Jesus, I don't know if you can buy it, but it was unexpected. It was a very impressive game from the Blazers. The Nuggets, meanwhile, Zach, I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I want you to go first, because the Nuggets in this series, what the Blazers did in this series, and really in this game, is they basically said, Jokic, you're not going to be a playmaker. Rather, we're going to make you score. Right? Jokic had 34.
He did score,
but they lost by 14.
Right?
Is this strategy going to work for Terry Stotts? Can this strategy give the Blazers an upset over Denver if they make Jokic this type of guy, in your opinion?
I think it can. Yeah, I think it can because another thing, Nurkic played him really well. Well.
Very, very much so.
Nurkic had a really good game himself. But
Wait, is that praise for Yusuf Nurkic?
I've never shit on Nurkic.
We've
Bryce.
never
Don't spin
crapped
this.
on Nurkic.
You just said he was Jokic light, and that was the problem.
Stop it. That's the problem.
No,
it's
no.
got nothing to do with the player.
16, 12, and 5. I'm just saying.
No, I have said multiple times that I feel like if Nurkic can
He's
come
a
out
top 10 center
and play
Nurkic?
About that 35 minutes, which he basically got me 33, then the Blazers get a whole lot better. And that's exactly what he did. And that was my key. That was my key for them.
But here's two stats that told the story of the game. The first one was Jokic, only 1 assist.
Yeah, that's unusual.
I mean, we're talking best passer in the league, in my opinion, and just got nothing from his other guys. And then Blazers, 47.5% from 3. 47.5%. 6 of the 8 Blazers that played were in double-figure scoring. And that's another thing. They're only playing 8 guys. They're not playing like 10 guys. They know who they want.
Yeah.
They know who they want out there, and that's another good sign. I always think it's a good sign when these guys know who their 7 or 8 guys are versus like the Lakers who's just experimenting on the fly when
I agree.
You really can't afford to do that in the playoffs.
Nope.
This is just a serious backcourt mismatch for the Nuggets. I mean,
oh my goodness.
Norman Powell
big time
is Portland's 3rd best guard, and he's better than any guard on Denver by a lot.
Right.
By a lot on both ends. I mean, that's what I said. Depth is great in the regular season, but in the playoffs, and that's what we kept talking about with Denver. Like, look at this guard depth. Look at all these guys. What did it do for him in game 1? You need to know who your guys are. You can't just be like, well, somebody will show up. Somebody will do something. No, you can't do that.
Real quick, Zach. Here's what I like. I like what Michael Malone has been doing. But here's the I said Michael. I call him Michael. Look, the problem with Denver. Okay, what are we doing? Why are we not playing Monte Morris in the 30s?
Michael.
Why aren't we playing Monte Morris? Why are we not playing Monte Morris in
Marcus
the 30s?
Howard?
Why am I not trying to put Monte Morris in the starting lineup?
Because they like Austin Rivers.
Not to mention, like, I think Millsap and Green are good players. And if you're only going to give them 15 and 18 minutes respectively, I understand they don't have the perimeter depth, you guys, but this is a problem in terms of managing the whole thing.
Yes.
This isn't just perimeter depth and how you manage perimeter. It's minutes. Because here's the thing, Bryce, and I understand your love affair, but look, when it comes to the Blazers and their depth particularly their 8-man rotation, right, that the Blazers have compared to when the Denver could potentially go 9, maybe 10. I think it's a fair thing to say they can go 9, maybe 10, depending on the game.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think Denver needs to be able to take advantage of that.
But that's what I'm saying, Caleb. I don't think that's a good thing in the playoffs.
They need to take advantage of their front court depth, though, because I think their front court depth's really good compared to the Blazers.
I agree with
it's
that.
Really good, and that's where they need to take advantage. They need to spin it, and if the Blazers are going to take the backcourt, then the Nuggets need to take the front court, and I believe that they can do that, but they have to show it, and that's on Malone to make sure that happens. Bryce, but take it away, though. I know you've been liking the Blazers.
Yes, and I'm going to use my first point to go after Caleb a little bit.
Oh, no. Don't do it with Cantor. No.
No. I'm not going Cantor. I'm going to leave it alone. But I am going to call out Caleb for this. Caleb drew attention to the Blazers defense. And I told him, I think some of these guys are going to pay off in the playoffs, particularly Robert Covington. Robert Covington didn't have a great game statistically, but he was plus 21 when he was out there. 34 minutes, only scored 8 points, 2 of 4 from 3. Yeah, he had the second best plus minus on the team behind Damian Lillard, of course, who just, it's Damian Lillard. We know what to expect. Yeah, Campazzo, Rivers, give me a break.
No.
Lillard, give me a break. Give me a break.
Right.
And you know what? The announcers were on one saying Austin Rivers was a great pickup for this team because of his playoff experience. What experience does he have? Blowing a 3-1 lead on the Clippers?
Yeah, congratulations. Under Poppy's tenure there. Yeah, okay. And the other thing about this too is, yes, Carmelo Anthony had a very good game, where he shot 50% from the field, 50% from three, 18 points. Really good game. But Norm Powell is not going to have those 3 for 11
he's not.
games. He's just not. He's going to play better. And not to mention, he still brings value to your team with his defense. So I think, honestly, I feel like Portland has the better matchups around the floor because you have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, who's just going to unleash barrage of 3-point shots. Yeah, I mean, it's scores galore. I feel like Nurkic, he kind of handles Jokic all right. I mean, if we look at Jokic's numbers, yeah, he had 34 and 16, but again, only the 1 assist. So that what tells me is the Blazers are playing defense. They're covering up these guys who are cutting to the basket and setting these off-ball screens. They're covering up their guards extremely well. And Michael Porter Jr.'s got to be better. You're like, Bryce, what are you talking about? He had 25 and 9. I get it. 1 for 10 from 3. Maybe cut down on 3-point shots. Get to the basket.
Yep.
I will criticize poor 3-point shooting because I think Michael Porter is better around the basket than he is at the 3-point range.
Yep.
Flat out. Okay, yeah, he had 25 and 9. He was -6.
Sure.
-6. I don't know. I just expected a little bit more out of Michael Porter. I think he's going to be really good. I think he's ready for an explosion. But you can't shoot 1 for 10 from 3. And why are you taking 10 threes?
Well, he's been rolling from the 3 all season. But I agree, Bryce. That's just something as a young player, and it's something as a coaching staff, and it's something that a veteran leader needs to go and say, hey, what are we doing taking 10 threes? Get to the paint.
Well, that guy should be Paul Millsap.
I'd argue Paul Millsap, but then at the same time, I think Will Barton. Obviously, Will Barton's out in this game, but he was there.
Is he coming back? Is he coming back?
From my understanding, he's coming back.
They need him. They need him bad.
They do need him bad. I agree because he's a good defender. He's a very good defender. I think he's not.
He's offense too.
Yeah. He just gives me the best option to throw, probably right out of who they have. Probably the best option. 100%. So I think in this series, look, they're going to come out and they're going to have a party. I'm watching this series. I'm keeping my eye on Denver in this game, in this next game, which is tonight. I'm keeping my eye on it. I think that's the key. Denver needs this bad. If Portland goes up 2-0. I think that's a really difficult and tasking challenge. I think that's a very difficult and tasking challenge. So I think this is almost must-win territory for the Denver tonight.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
I love that these teams are familiar with each other. I love it because we don't get this a lot anymore.
Yeah.
2 teams have faced each other in the playoffs before. We're seeing it right now with the Bucks and the Heat.
Sure.
They know each other. It feels a little different because they have some history. We haven't had that. I mean, it just feels good, especially in the East. I mean, we haven't had that in a long time. So, and let me just say on Campazzo, I understand the stats will say he sucked, but he at least tries on Lillard.
Yeah, he does.
Tries. Caleb
plays hard. He plays hard.
So I can appreciate that. I think we all can, but come on, man.
That's fair.
Also, nothing from JaMychal Green. A guy Denver thought they could count on. 0 points, 3 rebounds.
They'll get that. Green. They'll get that. I'm just not buying an inconsistent Green. I'm not buying an inconsistent Green or an inconsistent Millsap. I think they'll play better.
And also,
I think they will be better.
Melo.
Sure.
Carmelo Anthony took the booze in stride. The booze, which are just laughable, by the way. It's 10 years ago. Move on. 18 points on 50% field goal. 50% from 3.
Oh, gosh.
He went on a little tear there. It looked like Knicks Melo. Looked like a little hoodie Melo action. Just
baby.
Dominating.
Love hoodie Melo.
If Melo plays like this for the rest of the series, give me the Blazers in 5 or 6. Because I really think he's still a really potent scorer, especially when he gets rolling like he did on Saturday. And if you're gonna boo it, that crowd, that had to be the lowest IQ crowd I've ever seen because they kept booing
that
him
was dumb.
while he was torching their team.
And how long ago was Melo in Denver?
I mean, fuck, Paul George doesn't even get booed anymore at Pacers games. It gets old.
Yeah, it does. It does. We'll move
I'll
forward,
still
though.
boo Paul George.
Bryce, do you have your overreaction?
I do have my overreaction.
Go ahead.
Since we talked about Melo, I'm going to shift it.
Okay.
I'm going to shift it to another Blazer.
Okay.
This will be the Anthony Simons coming out party,
No,
this series right here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, baby.
No.
Yeah, Simons is coming.
Overreaction.
Yes,
I'm going for
we
a
have a
sec.
Gary Trent Jr. Yes, welcome Simons to the league.
Zach,
yeah.
Zach, let me
I
go
think
first.
he can keep it up.
No, this is a complete overreaction.
Oh, come on.
Simons was just feeling it. Okay, I bet if you checked his temperature, it was pretty hot. Okay, I'm just saying. You had the thermometer on. You put the thermometer in. He had a great game. I'm sorry, he's not doing
5
that.
of 6, 4 of 5 from 3.
Yeah,
5 for 6. I'm not buying.
Coming out party, baby.
Because you know what I am buying. You know what I am buying.
What?
See, your argument of why Powell should be better is why Simons will do worse. Because Simons won't shoot. Because Simons won't be as good offensively. Therefore, because Powell will be better offensively. I think that translates. I think it switches. Complete overreaction.
What if you get 10 from Simons a game for the rest of the series?
That's fine.
That's fine and respectable.
Yeah.
And I think he has to do that. I think he has to do that.
Well, my overreaction, I don't know if you characterize this as an overreaction, but I think Dame is going to have a 50-point game this series.
I don't think that's an overreaction. I'm down for it.
In fact, I would book it. I'd book it.
There you go.
I freaking love Damian Lillard so much. It's incredible.
Okay, we're not getting into this tangent again. We're not getting into this tangent again. Moving forward, Nets Celtics, and I'm bringing something a little fun to the joint.
On this series.
I'm bringing a little something fun to the joint.
I like fun. Right? I like fun. What do you got?
You know what I'm doing? You know what I'm doing before we get into this? Some fun little trivia questions, perhaps.
Oh, hey, me and Zach love trivia.
So we're doing some trivia.
We're degenerates like that.
So what we're doing? So this is going to be a new segment where they will not know what team I picked the trivia on, but everything that I have asked in these questions came from the broadcast. So they have an opportunity to know the answers. It's not like I'm just putting stuff in from nothing. They have the opportunity. The question is, did they listen? Were they aware? Were they paying it? We'll just see.
I feel like I'm back in college.
Also the other thing to keep in mind is there will be an occasional retweet potentially of this question, which I know they both follow. And for all of you that listen to this podcast, follow as well. And you might be able to answer this question as well. So do not be afraid to add us when you recognize the retweet and recognize the question. So moving forward, I'm not going to tell you where I found this. Jeff Green, forward on the Brooklyn Nets, has been to the playoffs with how many teams? No research.
Yeah.
Straight guess.
I'm just trying to think of the teams he's played for.
Yeah, same.
All right, so
and you have to, and I'm giving.
Can we work together? Or
you can work together.
All right. So Boston,
Houston. Thunder, maybe.
Yeah, Thunder, Houston.
You're on a clock though. I have to put you on a clock. You're on a. How about we do a minute clock? Can we do a minute clock? Minute 30 clock?
That's fine.
Sure. Brooklyn.
Okay, go.
Brooklyn. Yeah, so 4. Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah, anywhere LeBron James went, except the Heat.
Not Orlando.
No. I'm also struggling to recall some of the teams he's been with.
Washington? I don't think they made the playoffs.
No, I don't.
We got 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 6.
I'm down with 6.
6 final answer?
Yeah.
7. I was Washington, wasn't it?
Washington was a team.
Ah, damn it.
Washington was a team. So Jeff Green has been in the playoffs with
Ah,
7
fuck.
teams. The only two, Nazi Muhammad has been to more playoffs.
Wow.
Is also up in this category
Nazi.
as well.
The LeBron show.
Another a teammate of Jeff Green's at one point.
Oh, geez.
The next question. How many minutes have James Harden, Kyrie Irving,
Oh, fuck.
and Kevin Durant
dude.
played together?
I don't even know if it's 50.
Well, they only played 8 games together or something.
Played 8 games together. Yes,
Eight
played
games?
8 games together.
I'm gonna go.
Maybe it is 50. Maybe it's more.
I'm gonna go under 100. I'm gonna go 73 minutes.
Okay, fine. I'll go 67.
Wow. Okay. 202.
Oh,
They played
shit.
202 minutes.
wow, we were way off.
Very big oof. It is what it is, though.
Ouch.
Yes, to
Wow.
go. Meanwhile,
Nash was
here's the
running
next
hard.
one, then we'll move on. Kevin Durant got a double-double in this game.
Yeah, he did.
Easy.
It was his first double-double since blank.
Since 2019.
Are we going more specific than that, or just the year?
It's well, I would prefer to go a little more specific. Let's think
Okay.
about what
So-
games,
All right. Since,
what was his last appearance, things like that.
Since,
I'm going with Western Conference Finals 2019.
oh, he didn't play, Bryce.
Oh,
he didn't play in those games.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, I thought
I'm gonna go first round against the Clippers in 2019.
Okay.
I'll go with the last game of the season, 2019.
Okay. Wow. First double-double since Game 4 of the NBA Finals in 2018.
Shit.
Kevin Durant.
I was closer.
Kevin Durant went for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and his 39th career playoff double-double. First since Game 4 of the 2018 NBA Finals with Golden State at Cleveland. 38 of the 39 playoff double-doubles have included 20-point performance.
A sweet,
That was
by the
from
way.
Mark Spears, who made that. That was a retweet. So once again, we'll do these throughout. We'll do them on different teams. So, and I don't give them any hints. I don't give them any suggestions. They just have
We almost had the Jeff Green one.
pair.
Yeah, that was close.
Next up, so let's get into the game. Brooklyn looked great in the second half. They look great in the second half. But everybody talks about the fact that their offense is so lethal. Their effective field goal percentage is so lethal. Their ability to score offensively is so lethal. Okay, the Brooklyn this season, 117.3 points per 100 possessions, the highest mark in 25 years. Most likely NBA history by going off this statistic. I found this on NBA.com. Their effective field goal percentage of 57.5%. The highest mark in NBA history, surpassing the 2017-2018 Golden State Warriors. The Brooklyn Nets are a team that is known for their offense, but won by their defense. They came out in this game and they looked really sharp on that end of the floor. I was worried, but you know what? If I was a Nets fan and I listened to Nash in those Wired, like how ESPN does that,
Yeah.
I was feeling a lot better every time I saw him on the screen.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried at all. He wasn't worried at all.
No,
Steve
because he
Nash-
knows he has fucking
Steve-
Durant,
but you know what?
Harden, and Irving.
But he wasn't. Sure, yes, that. But he wasn't worried on defense. And I think that's the thing that everybody's been wanting
Sure.
to keep blitzing is Brooklyn's not going to give us enough defensively. Brooklyn's not going to do this defensively. I think Brooklyn had a very nice defensive game.
Speaking of which,
I think they did.
speaking of Jeff Green, you know who's been playing good defense for the Nets? Jeff Green.
Yep, he has. Oh yeah, yeah.
Never thought I'd say that.
No.
It's really nice to see Jeff Green play well. Like anytime, it always makes me happy just knowing what he went through and stuff like that.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Always makes me
100%.
happy.
I mean, they held Boston to 93, and I understand Boston doesn't have Brown healthy, but you held the team to 93 points. You did. The Brooklyn Nets held a team to 93 points. If I told you the Brooklyn Nets in their first playoff game were going to hold somebody to under 100 points, how much would you believe me? How much would you believe me? The Brooklyn Nets barely even got to the 100 threshold. They won the game.
They shot the three extremely poor in the first half. They didn't make a single one, I believe. Or they only hit one. Though?
They just kept answering the bell. Celtics
didn't
got
quit.
to the foul line. It's the and the Celtics didn't quit. Right. The Celtics didn't quit, even though Tatum was 6 of 20 and Kemba was 6 of 16 and Fournier was 3 of 10. And they found their way to fight through this. I think Brooklyn should get a lot of credit for that. And I think Boston fought their butts off. But this is about as bad of a night you're going to get from Brooklyn offensively. Good luck with them having a worse night than this. If the defense can be just as is, I mean, I understand Tatum's going to make shots more and Kemba's going to make shots more. I mean, I feel pretty comfortable, gentlemen, with calling this a sweep here, unless I'm proven otherwise. Zach, what about you? What are your thoughts on this?
No, I agree. It's a sweep. I think the Nets are just waiting to see who they play in the conference finals, whether it's going to be Philly or Milwaukee. I think it's going to be Philly. I think Caleb and I are both pretty high in Philly. Bryce, where do you stand on Philly? I know we don't have them, but
just make it quick, please.
Yeah.
And I'll take Milwaukee over Philly.
Well, that's fair based on what we're seeing tonight. But here's one thing. The Celtics played 11 guys, which tells me they don't know what the fuck they have. They don't.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Zach.
They're just, again,
Brad Stevens? Brad Stevens?
Yeah, you're not going to put this on Stevens.
No,
Brad Stevens?
Stevens didn't put.
Seat a little warm? That seat a little warm there?
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Oh, baby.
But
no, it's not.
I think even if Jaylen Brown plays in this game, they lose. I think even if Jaylen Brown plays in the series, they get swept.
Wow.
It's no disrespect to Jaylen Brown, but
interesting. I feel like that's a little disrespect to Jaylen Brown, but
no, I love Jaylen Brown. I just think the Nets are that good, and they can push down on the gas whenever they want.
Wow.
I mean, Kevin Durant, one of the easiest 30-point games I've ever seen from him. Just quiet, if it's possible, quiet 32 points.
Very quiet.
Just destroys you.
Harden only scores 21, and that he could have easily had 30. But there were times he would just be like, you know what? I don't really want to take Rob Williams off the dribble. I don't want to embarrass him, so I'm gonna dip it down low to Durant and let him get his, which is exactly what happened. He still got you 8 assists and 9 rebounds. So quietly flirting with a triple-double, James Harden. Kyrie, he's gonna do what he does against Kemba, or if Stevens wants to, Peyton Pritchard, which is you're just asking for.
Well, you are, and I think that's a good point. But Bryce, I want you to give a little bit here, and then we'll try to wrap up here soon.
Well, I got a damning stat.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I got a damning stat.
Okay, go ahead.
Evan Fournier, Tristan Thompson, Kemba Walker. Care to guess their combined plus minus in this game?
Oh gosh,
it was bad. It's bad.
I don't want to know. Give it to me though.
Minus 51.
Oh, gosh.
It's bad.
Minus 51. If Kemba doesn't score like 22 plus, they're losing the game. That's just as simple.
I agree. Zach made some good points. Bryce, I want you to. I know this is something that we talked about, Zach and I and you, as we were watching this game, looking through this game. The artistry of Mr. Irving around the glass. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's got everybody loving it. This was a really, really nice Irving game. I mean, 29 and 6 from the glass. I understand the assist numbers were low, but this was a very I thought it was a really nice Kyrie game. I'm curious to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I've said it for the past couple of years, I think Kyrie Irving is the best finisher around the rim, like, period.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to find anybody better. Good luck. And miss me with anybody else. I will take Kyrie Irving around the rim more than anybody, even more than a big man. Give me Kyrie Irving. I mean,
Kyrie Irving.
Here's the thing. Like, Harden and Durant have this connection, right? But then you kind of have Kyrie, who's just kind of out there. And, you know, they'll run ISO ball for Kyrie Irving, which I'm perfectly fine with. You know, and that's the thing. The change of pace that Brooklyn can play with is just unmatched.
You're not happy to run ISO. You think it's fine to just give Kyrie Irving ISOs. I'd be thrilled to give Kyrie Irving ISOs. I'd be thrilled. I'd be ecstatic.
Look, not much needs to be said about this series, and we can just sit in awe of the stars in this series. I don't even care about the bench players or the role players.
They didn't play bad.
Give me Durant, give me Irving, give me Harden, give me Tatum. I'll watch them all day long to see what they do.
They look good. Very curious. Joe Harris isn't going to go 2 for 6 from 3. That's going to get better.
He was still plus 22.
I get it. But I'm just saying he's 2 for 6 from 3. He's going to give you better than that.
He's going to play good defense.
I agree. I'd like to see Claxton get more than 11 minutes.
Yeah, I agree. Why not?
I think that'd be interesting. I didn't mind what the bench gave me. I think Shamet could have been a little more aggressive with the shot. He only shot one time. I think he's got to be able to come up and hit some threes, some timely threes.
Sure.
But I think this was a very, very nice game. I think it was good for Brooklyn. Okay, let's feel the obstacles out in the first half, and then let's go back. Let's kick them in the second half. It was good. It was good to watch. And so we'll conclude the podcast. And look, there's plenty of stuff to listen to. Alex and Dylan, as we've mentioned, their podcast.
Zach, what's up, man?
Go ahead. I want to give a closing statement on the New York Knicks. I know we don't have them. I know we don't have them.
Give me very quick, Zach. Very quick. We're trying to wrap it up.
My hate of the Knicks has been totally misconstrued. If people think I hate the team itself, I don't hate the team. I don't hate the fans. I think they have the best fans in basketball, and I don't think it's close. And it was proven on Sunday. I hate how they are run as a franchise, and I hate the media coverage they get because they don't deserve any of it. This season they do. And this team reminds me a lot of the 2018 Pacers, Bryce. Just a bunch of guys who have been places that didn't work out, and then they get together and they're like, fuck it. We're going to play hard, and we're going to make the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
I'm down for it, man. I like it.
That's good. That's good.
I hope the Knicks win the series for the fans. MSG is the best place to play, if you ask any player.
Sure.
Derrick Rose turning back the clock. You love to see it.
Sure.
I hope the Knicks win. That's what I'm saying. I hope the New York Knicks win the playoff series.
Yeah. And as we mentioned, there's plenty of content from the cinema to go check out. The Battleground also putting on an episode this week. From my understanding, please check, at least from according to Alex, he told me there was potential for that. So check that out. There will be plenty of content from the triple option that are coming up, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, Divine Rhyme with the Schoolboy Q and their look. They're moving into another chapter. Please check that out. There's the book from One Young Soul to Another from Dylan Hughes, Facts and Stats by J.D. Hall. There's plenty of stuff to look forward to on the network. Don't be afraid to listen. And without further ado, this is the first of the LynnSanity edition for this week.